Fresh off the success of his multi-Oscar nominated The Irishman, Martin Scorsese is already beginning work on his next picture, the murder mystery film called Killers of the Flower Moon, based on the book by David Grann of the same name. It will tell the story of the rich Osage Indians in the 1920s who saw numerous members of their tribe killed off, and the subsequent murder investigations were one of the first conducted by the newly formed FBI. The film will be the first Scorsese feature-length film to star both Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. Scorsese, of course, has had an incredible working relationship with Robert De Niro which spanned around 2 decades, ending with 1995's Casino, and then did not work with him for over 20 years until the duo made The Irishman. In the gap between the two films, Scorsese made 5 movies with DiCaprio, and it's fitting that for his latest film, which could be his last movie, he's bringing his 2 frequent collaborators for a feature-length film together. Scorsese recently gave an interview with French outlet Premiere on his new project, where he shared the exciting news that Killers of the Flower Moon will essentially be the director's first Western picture. Funnily enough, I have a video coming out in about a week that I made a while ago after I read the book, where I talk about the Killers of the Flower Moon movie in depth, and I did mention that I think this will be Scorsese's first ever Western, a genre that many of his fans had hoped he'd make a film in one day. Technically, it's not a traditional Western in the classic sense, but there still will be cowboys, Indians, ranchers, and many of the things we associate with Westerns. One of the major themes of the book is change and the passing of old age into the new. The law, for example, transitions from posses made up of guys with revolvers strapped to their hips to suited and booted FBI agents. So in a way, the movie is essentially taking place at the death of the Western. Anyway, Scorsese spoke about the style he's going for with his new project. "We think it's a Western," he said. "It happened in 1921-1922 in Oklahoma. There are certainly cowboys, but they have cars and also horses. The film is mainly about the Osage, an Indian tribe that was given horrible territory, which they loved because they said to themselves that whites would never be interested in it. Then we discovered oil there, and for about 10 years, the Osage became the richest people in the world per capita. Then, as with the Yukon and the Colorado mining regions, the vultures disembark, the white man, the European arrives, and all was lost. There, the underworld had such control over everything that you were more likely to go to jail for killing a dog than for killing an Indian." It seems Scorsese is also thinking about the bigger picture with his film and how it relates to events that are above and beyond the events of the movie itself. "It's so interesting to think about the mentality that leads us to this," he said. "The history of civilization goes back to Mesopotamia. The Hittites are invaded by another people, they disappear, and later it is said that they have been assimilated, or rather absorbed. It is fascinating to see this mentality which is reproduced in other cultures through 2 world wars, and which is therefore timeless, I think. This is the film we are going to try to make." It sounds very interesting what Scorsese is going for here. It looks like he wants to tackle this colonial mindset. I don't know if we can even call it that because the origins of such behavior predate the colonial period, but being able to eradicate an entire people simply because they are different, the mentality, the mindset that one must have in order to do such a thing, seems like what Scorsese is going for with this film, seems like what he wants to explore. So what do you think? How good do you see Killers of the Flower Moon being? Are you excited to see De Niro and DiCaprio in the same film under Scorsese for the first time? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.